Good afternoon, everyone. Sarah of SG My Life. I'm gonna wait here for a few minutes and let some people join. For those of you, let's tag some people here. See where they are. We'll see. Who comes on? I'm a few minutes early, but I thought I'd work out the kinks on here first before I jump on. And 9 weeks into quarantine, and I'll add that I finally have figured out how to blow out my own hair. It's a pretty big achievement for a girl like me. Anyway, just a side note. So today, what we're going to talk about really is self-confidence, persistence, happiness, and doing our own thing, and what that means to everybody, and what's stopping you, what are your limited beliefs. All of these things are definitely relevant, especially today. And so I think what I'll do is I will just get started, and those who can come on will be on. So, yeah, self-confidence, persistence, happiness, and doing your own thing. And what is that for you? What are your limiting beliefs? Do you have any? I think we all do, but for the most part, I think it's relevant, very relevant, that we actually go a little deeper on these topics. And I would really like it if anyone has any questions about the coaching, if anyone has any questions about confidence coaching. It's so many aspects. It's not just about an image. It's not about an appearance. It's about a lot of different things. So I'm going to start on some research and some writing that I did, because all of these things take time. And so self-confidence. Because one believes in oneself, one doesn't try to convince others. This is when you're fully confident. You don't try to convince others, because one is content with yourself. One doesn't need others' approval, because one accepts oneself. The whole world accepts another person, him or her. Self-confidence can be overplayed, and it can be underplayed. And I think everybody who has any confidence at all, not in every aspect of your day, or in your life, but in certain areas we definitely have more confidence than in others. And it's based on your performance, life actions, your outcomes in life. You know, my life depends on me. My decisions, behaviors, consequences of those depend on what I believe. No matter how or why I choose those beliefs, and my confidence, trust in my own ability to choose beliefs and then qualify them as valid enough to be motivational and to live based on those, and that defines my self-confidence. So I think it's really, really relevant that if you are lacking confidence, or you have confidence in certain areas, you still are aware of them. Make yourself aware of them. My self-awareness of this, it really has little to do with the reality of it. My degree of self-confidence is illustrated by what I do and how I do it. So I guess that's in any challenge. If I'm challenged on social media, if I have an opinion, I stick to it. I do due diligence. I will one-on-one with somebody. If I truly believe and I'm confident in where I stand, that is what is projected, and that is why strong individuals come out of those things. So I think that is a key point that people who are trying to find their confidence have to understand and get to. How they get there is a process, but that's just part of it. So I express self-confidence in different degrees based on what I'm doing and based on what I'm acting on. For example, if I'm working with a client, whether they're one-on-one or in a group, I'm highly confident in my beliefs and my methods and my techniques. So, I mean, I think a lot of us, again, in our line of work, whatever that may be for everybody, it's going to be different, obviously. If you're confident in what you're doing, do you ever second guess yourself? Do you ever have, if somebody asks you a question, are you ever asking or having any doubt in what you're doing? Because you are so damn good at it that there's no reason for anybody to ask you. And if they do, how dare they second guess you, because you know your stuff and you're sticking to it. That's confidence. If we could only have that in every aspect of our lives, we would be it would be insane. We all have to get there if we aren't already there. You can learn it. It is in us. It's our limiting beliefs that stop us. I mean, there are certain things that I'm not confident in. I'm not going to change faucets in my house. I'm not going to pretend like I know how to paint. I'm not going to put in a light fixture. But when it comes to those things, I'm sure in myself, and I have enough confidence in myself to know I can either learn it, or I'm confident enough to know I can't do it. So I'm okay with asking for help. I'm okay with that. But I have enough self-confidence, like I said, in all of those. So I can figure out at least enough to get by or give it a try and not run away from a project or leave it or just get discouraged by it. Give it an attempt, try it. And that's what I do. So the big picture things, though the things I've chosen to live as purpose and my vision, my mission, and my goals in life, and those things require great self-confidence or contentment from our own peace, from my own place. When you die, I assume some sort of a memorial is going to be held for any one of us. And when that happens, people will have, their own opinions of you. But one thing is for sure, if anyone speaks about me, that person will not make a case that my life or your life could have been different if only. See, that's where we get caught up. I don't want to be remembered for the if only she had, if only I could, if only I would. If it's all about the what ifs. I don't want to have what ifs. When I'm done on this planet, I want to have no what ifs. I don't want anybody to speak about me as a what if or in those terms. So if anyone's speaking about me or about you, that person will not make a case that your life or my life could have been lived in a different way. If only I had a better childhood. If only someone had supported me more. If only that school district had given me that job. If only. If you're living like that, you're not living a confident, fulfilled life. And I would challenge most people to think about that and then leave your comments after this live and let me know what your thoughts are, or message me, because these are really, truly the bones of confidence and the limiting beliefs we carry. So, no, your life will not be reviewed and evaluated based on what you did. It's all on you. So everything that happens in life is on you. And that's where self-confidence is so key. Having high self-esteem, having the ability to learn those things, being true to yourself in every aspect and being fully accountable. So you can't put your stuff on other people. You need to own it and you need to learn it. And those are the things that are so, so relevant and so poignant and so effective in your life. Therefore, while others may have their opinions of you or evaluations of me or ideas for how I could do things better, of which I would hear it, with all honesty, and with good intent, The only thing that matters, though, in the end, is the confidence I have in myself, and that I put into my clients, and that I put into others in my life. And I create that as my purpose. That's others' opinions about that and the essence of me don't matter. I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. It is when you can let go of those beliefs of what other people think of you that you can truly then become confident in yourself. That's where true confidence comes in. It really is that, and it is learning that process that is so relevant. So I reveal my degree of self-confidence in my life, in my purpose, in my vision, in my mission, and through persistence. So this is where I said that I was going to talk about self-confidence and persistence. And whether it's good or bad, right or wrong, I'm doing it. Perseverance, persistence, just grit. I mean, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to label it, this is what grows my confidence and allows me to continue to be confident. It is my sheer persistence. But here's the kicker. For anyone, what is the motivating force for my self-confidence? People can be counted a success whether they have self-confidence through an ego or through a heart. If I'm acting through my heart, I will be far more confident and fulfilled and significant. Heart encourages risk. Ego will almost always cause us to question and cave and make our choices that may look good to everyone else but leave us unhappy. Confidence is the ego-operated self and will usually end up negatively. Confidence in heart, core self, your beliefs, will reap huge happiness and rewards. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Self-confidence, though, in the big things of our own lives allows us to live a happiness that is, it is the best life to have is when you're confident in yourself. And I want people to learn that confidence. I want people to have that self-confidence. And if you don't, again, we will find it. There's so many options, but this is about the persistence. That's just another area that our confidence really shines. So, again, how confident are we in our core? That's really a big question. Heart identity. You're right. Yep. Learning decisions, bad decisions, absolutely. So, time and experience plays very much a role. Yeah, it does. But I also know lots of people who have had lots of years on this planet and don't learn and still don't have confidence and still fight what they think they have confidence and what really is confidence are two different things. It's a battle. It's really one of these not from the heart confidence. It's just something deeper than that. It's a limiting belief. It's that being told as a child you weren't good enough. It was whatever it might be. It's, you're not smart enough. You'll never accomplish it. You'll never do it. Your grades aren't good enough. There's always somebody there to bring you down a notch. And it's when you can continue to be persistent and believe and move past those limiting beliefs that you end up being really fully confident in all aspects. So again, are we happy in doing the things that we want to do every day? Are we content knowing self and accepting our own creation of what we've become or what we want to become? It shows to others deep down. You want to see if you believe your own shit. That's really what it becomes. Do you believe your own shit? It's put bluntly, but it's true. So what do you believe in? And do you have that much confidence in yourself? So do you have limiting beliefs? Have you even thought about it? Are you confident in almost every aspect of your life? Or are you not? Are you persistent in your goals and your dreams and what you believe in or not? Because persistence defined, I love this, big shots and only little shot are only little shots who keep shooting. So persistence is defined as a voluntary continuation of goal-directed action in spite of obstacles, difficulties, or discouragement. Just as fear is a prerequisite for courage, challenge is a prerequisite for perseverance. Simply measuring how long someone sticks with a task does not adequately capture the essence of perseverance, because continuing to perform something that is fun or easy doesn't involve the overcoming of obstacles or disappointment. Persistence and success. It was tempting to begin this whole live today with the little engine that could story. Everybody, I think, knows that one. And by now we know that Thomas Edison did not invent, the light bulb on his first try. Rather, probably like 6,000 attempts. But he never gave up. It was 99% genius and 1% inspiration. Whether or not Edison actually said in an open debate that this was true, 99% genius, 1% inspiration, but the message was undeniably attractive. And yes, it's true. We have to be persistent in order to conquer our limiting beliefs. We have to be persistent and thrive in these things. To be more accurate, 99% of perspiration and 1% inspiration formula needs to make room for the strength of wisdom and perspective. Persistence needs a partner. Some goals are truly impossible to reach, and some outcomes are simply unavoidable. And it takes wisdom to know when it's time to quit and move on to something else. And I think for most of us, we know when that is. So then we come down to persistence and self-esteem. So in general, people with higher self-esteem are more likely to persist at a difficult task than people with lower self-esteem. So I bet if you give it some thought, everybody knows someone like this, or has known, or you've been there. And it's more likely that you persist on a difficult task than people with lower self-esteem. So this seems intuitive, which if you believe you are a competent person with a good chance of succeeding at most things, you're less likely to quit. So it's persistence, it's self-esteem, it's confidence, it's limiting beliefs, it's moving forward, it's learning what those things are, getting those blocks out of the way, and putting your best self forward and putting your best self out there. And just be yourself, but be your best self. Don't leave this earth with people asking or giving excuses for yourself as to why you could have been something better or why you should have done something more. Make it happen now. Do the work and dig in and do it. So what seems less intuitive is the following things. People tend to persist longer at solving problems when they are told that what they are doing is difficult as opposed to easy, which I know all about, and I'm sure some of you may know that, and I know that there's people out there that are in the same boat. We always, when told we can't do something, we often say, watch. That's part of our human makeup. But people do tend to persist when they're told something's difficult as opposed to easy. So why? Failing at a task that everyone else finds easy can be humiliating and damaging to your self-esteem. In contrast, there's a minimal shame to one who fails at a widely acknowledged difficult task. So a so-called self-handicapping is a particular instance of failing to persist. Most often, it's used as a failure to persist by practice. Sorry, Chris, I'm just reading what you've got. That's right. I mean, it's different for everybody, and I agree. It's simplistic beliefs for some, and some people just don't get it and can't face the challenge of doing it. I mean, if you put a 10-piece puzzle in front of somebody, don't you often, if you're confident, don't you go, really, 10 pieces? That's all? Put 1,000 pieces in front of somebody and then see what they say. So, I mean, again, self-esteem comes into play on every aspect and every avenue that we go through in life. And I think that often it's overlooked because we think of confidence as a beauty, as an image, as a portrait, as many things, but we often don't. Your place and your position in your industry, whatever that might be, all of those things are part of. So if one fails to persist in studying before a major exam, then failure can be explained and self-esteem preserved by blaming the failure on lack of practice rather than low ability. So that's just one more aspect of where we come from and what we do and how persistence pays off. So again, I'm just going to recap. So that was self-confidence. It was persistence. It's happiness. It's doing the right thing for yourself. It's knowing what the right thing is for yourself and doing that. If you have limiting self-belief from somewhere in your past and you don't know exactly what they are, I tell people, often my clients, to journal it out and look at those limiting beliefs and see what's going on and see where your challenges are. And then challenge yourself. Look at those limiting beliefs and then challenge them. Because really, that's how you end up with real, true confidence. So if you're lacking it, if you have it in spades, that's fantastic. I mean, great applause to those who do. For those who don't, that's why I'm asking, what are your limiting beliefs? Do you have them? Do you challenge yourself? Do you blame others for your lack of success? Do you not take accountability and responsibility for those things? Are you persistent? Are you happy in yourself in every aspect? Are you proud of your accomplishments? Are you proud of you? Are you proud of what you're doing? Are you confident in all of those things? Because honestly, that's what I want to hear about. That's what I want to know. So for next week's live, I would really love it if people would, and I ask this every week, if you would leave questions, leave comments, tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you want to talk about next week. Give me a platform. I mean, there's always something throughout the week that somebody gives me something to talk about. So persistence this week was one of them. And so I'm challenging myself all the time to dig a little deeper and find things that I can bring to you. But on that note, I also am going to challenge those who are going to watch this later or are here now. And I'm going to ask you what you've had as a limiting belief. If you've ever felt like you couldn't get through a challenge because of your lack of confidence, there's ever been a time where you've blamed something else or someone else for something that you could not achieve? I want to know those things. That's what I want to hear. So for now, guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for coming out today. I appreciate it. Everybody stay well, take care, and until next Sunday, we will see you later. Don't forget to leave those comments or those questions if you've got something that you want to talk about, because I will make it a point of using it in next week's live. All right, guys, thank you again. It's SG. Have a good one. Bye.